Hello. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's section of reads. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, for the tarot version, I'm using the Ghost Tarot by, I always mess up his name, Davide, David Cossi? You can see the spelling. That way if you want to find this deck. There's also the website here on the back, which this camera is giving the clear version of that. For the Oracle cards, Magical Spell cards, I love this deck, by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reish, and down there at the bottom is hayhouse.com if you're interested to check all that out. And last but not least, I use dice too. I use a 22-sided dice, substituting 22 for 0 for the Fool, 14-sided dice for the Minor Arcana, and a 4-sided dice to choose the element that's matching up with the Minor Arcana. It's from the dice. They're from the Dice Shop. The website is mathartfun.com. Feel free to check those out if you're interested. That being said, of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. So let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Capricorn? Oh, I love that green. What is that? That is the Hermit card. You got some Earth showing right up. Earth is good for Capricorn, obviously. You're an Earth energy. Why do we feel a little cramped here? That's interesting. I always read here, so I don't know why I would feel cramped now. That might be part of the reading. Do we feel cramped in with this? I gotta see where it's going. Gotta read the cards as we go. Definitely good energy here. Somebody else might end up getting upset, or probably already is. But I don't know if we're bothered by that just yet. It's kind of like the way this situation, it's kind of like falling in pieces, but it's almost the way it's falling in, it's kind of like it's showing the order it should be in. It's almost like when you learn a new job and somebody teaches it to you their way, but once you see how everything actually fits, you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. Let me put this in proper order, and then you do it in the order that makes sense for you. Does that make sense? That's where this seems to be going. Kind of like somebody told you stuff, and they thought it was in order, and you're like, no, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. I need to fix this. Okay, so the lack of order in the past. Lack of order in the past. You got the, I keep reading this as the Page. I don't remember why I was doing that. I think because the other court card has a horse on it, and I always think of that as the Knight. I'll have to look at that again when I find a Knight, which I don't have one out here right now. In the past, people got along, and there was lack of order, though. And it's kind of like, whatever this situation is, it's kind of like, all right, they're all getting along, but there's a lot of wasted effort here, or there's a lot of non-movement. It reminds me of people getting together. This could be a work situation, doesn't have to be. But it does remind me of a situation where people would get together, and they would get together fairly regularly, and they talk about making decisions. And very rarely make a decision. It used to drive me nuts. It used to drive me crazy. I'm just like, spend an hour with a bunch of people, and like, if you get one thing settled, that was a good day. It was just, I don't know, it just aggravates me. It's just kind of like, it was all over the place, blah, 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 let's talk left, let's talk right, let's talk about completely different things, and then get nothing done. It used to drive me nuts. But that's kind of how this feels. It's kind of like, okay. And I remember the job I'm thinking of. This might fit for you, this situation. This might fit for you. Other people were like, you know, well, we're getting paid anyway, and it's kind of like, yeah, but no. I don't know. I was kind of like, yeah, but I could actually make use of this time. It's kind of like, I don't know. Some people may be at peace with that, like, oh, this is fine how this works, and it's kind of like, no, 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 no. So, coming into this next level, Capricorn is doing what Capricorn does best. I'm curious what that's going to be. Okay, so Lover's card reversed, Two of Pentacles reversed, and it's kind of like, all right, I don't like how this goes. I don't like these random decisions. So I'm going to make a decision on my own. Oh, is that where we're going? I'm just going to do stuff. Because the way this is going, I feel like whatever this is, I'm just like, this isn't for me. The way this is going, this isn't for me. I'm not showing up just to, you know, I'm not doing this. Because I feel like this. So I'm like, it may be shaking up, you know, shaking up the apples or shaking the apple cart. That's not the word. Shaking the tree. Maybe shaking the tree a bit. Shaking the apples out of the tree. There's something. I'm not hitting it right, I know. But yeah, I think you get what I'm saying. Maybe shaking things up a bit. But it's kind of like, no. No. I'm gonna make a decision on my own, and I'm just gonna do something. And whatever it is, it's not gonna go to waste. That's for sure. Whatever you're gonna do, it's not gonna go to waste. So at the very least, it benefits you. At the very least. So you're just gonna do something, and you're like, it's gonna work for me. If it works for everybody else, well, I don't, you know, they want to sit there and just talk to the wind. That's their problem. You're doing something, and it's well thought out with that Hermit card and the Two of Wands. It's well thought out, and again, it's going to benefit you. You're not going to waste your time. That's not going to happen. But is it going to benefit other people? Well, that's their problem. That's their problem. And when you do this, you create things, and things start to go. Things start to make sense. Things start to fit into place. Other people seem to be like, oh, Capricorn's just doing things? I feel like people are kind of like, wait, what? And I almost feel like I'm daring them. I'm kind of like, oh, you don't like it? Kick me out. Kick me out. I showed up to be productive. If that doesn't fit here, kick me out. Kick me out. I can't sit here and play this political game with you anymore. I'm doing things. And they will for sure benefit me. If they benefit you, I don't know. I guess you have to get up your butt and do something, but otherwise, I don't know. I don't know if it's coming across that way, but I'm like, I don't know. People are upset. People are upset. I keep getting that somebody likes to talk more than do anything else. And I get this complaint, like, you're taking power away from us. You're not allowing us to choose. You're not doing anything anyway. All you're choosing is to sit on your butt. I don't know who this is. I keep feeling like this is very pointed. So it's a general read. Take it with a grain of salt. Somebody's complaining, and I'm just like, oh, complain all you want. Because the thing is, when you do stuff, success follows, and you're creating opportunities. The fertile land is starting to show itself. And I think you're making a big point, kind of like, y'all are just sitting here talking and wasting time. It was spring when we started this. It's fall now. I'm planting tulips. I'm planting things that are going to come up in the spring because that's what I can plant now. If you guys don't want it, then don't. But I'm going to do stuff that makes sense for me. I'm not going to wait for you to, oh, what do we want? Oh, what color? Oh, where do we want them? I just found what I wanted. I found what I knew would come up. I put them where I wanted, and they're there. They're done. You don't like it, you go dig them up. I'm not digging them up. And I dare you to dig them up because I'll follow you out there with a shovel. I'm just telling you. I'll follow you out with a shovel, and I'm not going to help you dig them up. Just wink, wink. I'll follow you out there with that shovel, but you're not going to like what I do with it. I don't know where I'm going. I feel a little spicy with this one. Woo, that's fun. You're doing what you have to do. It is stressful because people are messing with... People are thinking they're going to undo something you did, and you're like, well, I'm not undoing it. And I dare you to try. I keep getting that. Like, oh, I dare you to try. Capricorn, there's certain things Capricorn you're not going to have a sense of humor about. You know what I mean? You're just not. Now, the majority, like there's people who are upset, but then once it really starts to take hold that Capricorn came to actually do something, that's why Capricorn showed up. There's going to be a portion of people who are going to want to align with you or work with you. Some are going to want to benefit from you. I feel like you're going to figure that out real quick, and that's not going to happen. That's its own thing. So this is another, is this another? Yeah. People will follow and go along with what you want, that actually want to make something happen. People who originally and are currently still involved with this situation because they actually do want to make things happen, they're going to be like, well, it may not be the perfect spotless moment, but at least we're going to get something out of this. It's almost like people are looking back kind of like, if we planted things in the spring, by now we'd have tomatoes and pumpkins and potatoes and onions. We'd have all that stuff we could make stuff with. But we talked it so much that we ended up with nothing. Capricorn's just going ahead and making their own decision and just doing stuff to make sure we have something. I'd rather have that outcome. Maybe it won't be the best things. Maybe Capricorn's gonna plant beets, and I don't like beets, but at least something will be there. But Capricorn will probably plant a lot of things, and some of it I know I'll like. At least we'll have something to work with. Even if I don't like the beets, maybe I could, take my portion of the beets and trade it to somebody else for something else they grew. At least I could do something with this. And people are gonna start looking at it, and they're gonna start lining up with you. And they're gonna see the longevity of actual benefits coming from this situation. There are people that are part of this situation. I don't need to be, I don't know. I don't know if you see it, but you probably do, but in case you don't, some people just show up to talk. They don't actually want to do something. They just want to make it look like they want to do something. I keep seeing this one scenario from my past. And this one person, it drove me mad how much energy they put in to just have meetings just for the sake of meetings and did literally nothing. Literally nothing. And it drove me mad. It just drove me bonkers. It kind of almost seems strategic, like there's a reason behind that, but I don't have time for that. Some people they show up because they just want to talk. They don't want to actually do something. Don't invest in those people. Let them drown themselves out. Keep doing what you do best. Because your energy's coming in and you're not playing. You're not here just to blah, 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 blah. Nope. You came to do something. You came to get something done. You didn't drive wherever you drove to just to go, oh, the wallpaper's pretty. Nope. That's not why you showed up. And you're not about to do that. The thing is, I know this is going to sound so rude. Be careful of balancing this out with other people's needs. If it sounds rude, then it's rude, but you don't want to negotiate with this. You don't want to be negotiable. I don't know. I feel like I'm razzing the bear with this. Oh, I don't? All right, then I won't. I'm getting, if you start negotiating with this, we're going to go back. They're going to start slowing it down. They're going to try to slow it down so it barely moves again. This situation, if it's hitting, it's a general read. Take it with a grain of salt. If you start negotiating and try to work well with others, it's gonna kill off the situation, or at least hinder it to a point no, we could have had a lot better. What they're saying is if people don't like you, let them not like you. We don't have to be mean. We don't have to be mean to people, but if they don't like you, let them not like you and just keep doing what you're doing. We don't have to give any verbal energy to it. Be careful what you say. Be careful how you act around certain people, because I feel like at least some Capricorns that I know, their body language says a lot at times. Center your energy on what you do best. Get done what you want. You'll create healing. People who don't like you, all right, then they don't like you. Don't negotiate this, is what I keep getting. Be careful. Take that with a grain of salt. Do what you think is right. You don't have to negotiate, and I get it's painful, and people don't like that, and people aren't going to like you over it. But that's also going to give healing. Otherwise, we can go back and keep doing it the way they did which was nothing. They're just saying, I spoke to this, but I didn't pick this up. Just, you know, if you don't have to say something, don't say something. Just show with action. Just do what you're going to do. Don't give this any more wordplay than you have to, especially because that's how some people undermine a situation. They're very good wordsmiths. They're very good wordsmiths, and they know how to say what they want to kind of negotiate or manipulate people to get things where they want them to and cause problems or align things that don't need to. If you can, have somebody who's more diplomatic handle that over on the side on their own. Somebody who's going to, you know, try not to get involved in that. Try not to get involved in the wordplay, if that makes sense. Because I feel like that's how what they're going to try to do. There will be some conflict with that. There will be some conflict. This situation is going to have conflict, but if there's going to be anything that comes from it, if this is actually going to be worth it, it's going to be a situation of conflict. Try not to play into it, at least not the wordplay. Just keep doing what you need to do. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I guess at some point in life it makes more sense. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Instead of asking for permission, just ask for forgiveness afterwards. That's not how it's actually said. Instead of asking for permission, just beg for forgiveness afterwards. That's how it's coming through. Whatever the situation is, just like do what you need to do. Don't ask beforehand. Just get what you need done. If people don't like it, go, oh, sorry. That's how it keeps going. There's conflict either way here. If it's going to actually be productive, there will be conflict. Some people just don't want anything to happen for whatever reason. Overall, you'll be happy with the outcome, and the people who actually showed up to do something will also be happy. But is that the strength card? Yeah. This is a heavy situation. This is a general read, so this last part I say, I feel like you already know, but I'm going to throw it in there. If you don't want to, if it's not worth the effort in this one, you should go somewhere else. Because to make this situation work, this is what it's going to take. Because I feel like it's either make something out of it and deal with this ridiculousness, or go mad doing the diplomacy. Take it with a grain of salt. This is a general read. Like, decide for yourself if this makes sense. But I feel like you already know that. If this reading is hitting, I feel like that's something you already know. You already know that. It's either gonna be a fight constantly because you need to get stuff done, or it's gonna drive you flat out mad because either nothing gets done or not enough to warrant the effort you're putting into it. Capricorn is not one to invest $1 and get back 15 cents. That's not what Capricorn doesn't show up to do that. Oh, here, I'll give you $1 so that I make sure, as long as I get back my 15 cents, that doesn't make sense. If Capricorn puts in $1, at the very least, they're getting back their full dollar. They don't invest just to get the same thing back. If you're investing, you're going to get at least $1.50 out of it. That's what you're looking for, at least. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like go for the conflict and get what you want out of it, or go mad with the diplomacy. Take it with a grain of salt. All right. Hopefully that helps. Thank you for watching. I'm going to shut this down here. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.